Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to an RN's Life. Thanks for tuning in. This is Deanna. Thank you, everyone who's been watching the videos. Welcome to new subscribers. Thanks for liking, commenting, and anybody that shares it. I don't know if my video has been shared, but whatever. Keep it pushing. Thank you so much, guys. Please hit the like button on your way in. Likes and comments is what help my videos go out to more people. So I would appreciate, even if you don't like it, thumb it down and leave a comment. Say you liked it, you didn't like it, say it's stupid, say you ugly. I don't care. Just leave a comment. I'm just trying to get to my 1,000 subscribers so that I can come on screen. Because when I get to 1,000, I'm gonna do a live and have you know have call-ins and everything else, and I'm gonna change my setup. I'm just waiting to get to 1,000 subscribers before I get there because I'm not monetized. So it ain't no money coming over here. My only money is coming from my job. That's why these videos is as how they come out. Because mama got to work, mama got bills, and we in a recession. And we ain't even want to talk about that. I might do a psychology of the recession. That might be something because Lord knows we all suffering with that one. But anyway, let's jump right in. Child, the psychology of these city girls, city girl behavior. Well, listen, city girls is down bad. Let me define a city girl for people who kind of don't know what it is, what a city girl is, defined as rather. A city girl is a young lady. Well, she doesn't have to be young, she could be old. There's some old ones out here. These women like to party, enjoy themselves. They don't like to pay for nothing. They live off men. They basically live off getting money any way they can, other than doing what most of us do, which is educating ourselves and getting the jobs. They don't want to do that. Some of them do, some of them don't. But city girls, they like the night life behavior. Excuse me. They like to go out and meet, men, meet high rollers, ballers, that will bankroll their life and their lifestyle. And some of these city girls are, now let me just say, city girls, if you want to be truthful about it, are actually sex workers. It's just they don't want to use that term. But these girls, if you call yourself a city girl exchanges sex for money because city girls are saying, they're not going to sleep with you unless you buy this or pay them that or this and that. Well, that's sex work. And I don't know why they want to put a cute little title on it, but it's sex work. So that's exactly what it is. Now, let's talk about the psychology of women who are into sex work. Sex workers, they are all across the board. It could be the high end Instagram girl all the way down to the prostitute at the truck stop. So these women, majority of them have been have been violated on some level themselves at some point in their life. Because in order to participate in this behavior, you have to have a certain mindset. And in order to have this mindset, you have to be damaged in some way. So there are plenty of women all over the world who have been violated. Some women take this route and some women take other routes, and that's just how it is. But majority of these women, i'm going to say I'm going to say 90 to 95, because most women that I've interviewed that have been sex workers or are in sex work, they have been violated. And most women I've talked to have been violated on some level. So women being violated on some level. Being violated doesn't always mean um, assaulted that way. It could be someone exposed themselves to them, or someone said something that was sexually inappropriate or whatever. So again, as I said, women uh, experience this, different times throughout their life, and some experiences are more severe than others, and the more severe cases uh, are with the women that are more likely to participate in the sex industry, because most of the women who participate in the sex industry usually have been violated on some level, because it's not normal for a woman to have several sex partners and things like that. We're not wired like that. We're wired that when we have intercourse with a man or woman, whoever we're having intercourse with, women tend to get more attached than men because we're nurturers. So we tend to get more attached, and this is why it is not, actually normal for a woman to participate in sex work that has a healthy mind. A healthy mind individual wouldn't do that. So we'll just get that out the way. So just getting that all out there so that you can understand the mindset of someone that is a sex worker. They've already been damaged. So when you take that, depending on what happens to them throughout their life, they either start feeling worse about themselves or they get help and they wind up, adjusting and having, some sort of halfway decent life. An example I can use of that is Cassie, because Cassie was what you would consider a sex worker. Granted, it was against her will, but she was still a sex worker. Now she's married and she has children. So, like I said, it's not a norm for women to want to do that. It's women that do it because they do it for the money, they do it for the man, they do it, so for safety, security, for, because there's some women out here that have nobody. And they think that being with that man is better than being by themselves. They don't know what to do or where to go. So again, women who participate, in this, there is some trauma there, somewhere, some kind of way. There definitely is. And the problem though is that these city girls, they like to advertise their life on all of the social medias that they're living this great life, that they're getting these luxury bags and clothes and trips and, money and, they're getting flued out all over the place. And in reality, behind the scenes, these women are treated horribly, horribly. Because women, you have to understand how men think. When the way that men love and loathe uh, promiscuous women at the same time. Men love them because they like to use you, but then they loathe you because they think you're nasty. Because in reality, that's the dark side of them. For the men that are married and have children and they want to go out to the strip club and they, will pay for a prostitute to, do an oral exchange in a car or something like that. That's why these men have that duality with women. They like the promiscuous woman. They will see her. Some of them even love her, but they don't want to wife them. They don't want to wife them, and they really don't want to have children by them. They really don't. Because that's that part of them that they don't want people to know about, that deviant side of them. So that's why women are classified in two different groups, the ones you marry and the ones you don't. And that's because of that. Men have that duality about them where they don't want the stripper or the sex worker to be the wife and the mother of their children, because they equate that with their mother and home life and things like that. So they don't want the mother of their children to be someone that was a stripper or someone that was a sex worker. So they put them in a separate category. So uh, because of this, women who are damaged, a lot of them think that this stuff is good attention from men. A lot of these women think that this is empowering for them because they feel as though that they're calling their own shots. They try to make it seem like, well, I'm doing what I want to do. This is what this is my decision. I call all the shots. I'm in charge of my OnlyFans. I decide who can flew me out or whatever. But in reality, it's all the same. At the end of the day, at the end of the night, when it's time to go to sleep, if you're not high out your mind or drunk, you cannot stand your thoughts. It becomes dark and lonely. And that's what they're not telling these other women. I'm going to give you a good example. Look at Ashanti. Ashanti has been in the business a long time. Ashanti is pregnant by Nelly at this time, but she's 40. Ashanti is a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. So why isn't Ashanti is not married? Why isn't you haven't heard of her in a long-term relationship other than Nelly that strung her along for 10 years, but you don't hear of her with anybody else? And that's because Ashanti has been around the industry. and men consider her an industry girl. Because now Ashanti's pregnant and Nelly still hasn't wifed her. There's no even talk of wifing or an engagement ring. There's none of it. So Ashanti's going to be another baby mama because she's having a baby at the buzzer. That's a buzzer baby. So again, these women make choices and they don't understand what the outcome is going to be. A lot of women don't realize if they would invest in themselves and get some sort of therapy to help them start piecing the puzzles of their life, start piecing their life back together, excuse me, then you would do better and make better decisions. People don't realize how valuable therapy is. In the Black community, we do not subscribe to therapy, and it shows. The community is a mess. It shows. And I'm not saying other communities are so great, but we are not able to communicate with each other as far as men and women. The men out here are losing their minds. They're out of control. They're angrier than ever, more aggressive. The women are depressed and lonely. Like, there is a huge need of mental health. But yet, the Black community does not want it. They frown down upon it like it's something that's so, hideous, but in reality, therapy will help you have a better life because therapy opens your eyes to things that you didn't know. I went to therapy, and here I'm a psych nurse. I went to therapy and it opened up my eyes to things that I was doing wrong. I needed to break generational curses. I need to change some of my behavior. And one thing that I've learned, when I made changes with myself, my life got better. I started being happier. I started feeling lighter. And when I see feeling lighter, I don't mean weight wise. I mean, I don't feel the load of things on my shoulders anymore. I've learned to do different things. I've learned to think a different way, and I'm so much happier. And speaking of healthier and happier, link is in the description box there. Book a therapeutic call. It's cheap right now. Where they're running a special right now. I put a link in the chat if you want to just book a call just with me instead of someone else. I asked them for my own exclusive link, so they gave me my own link. So again, you can book a call just with me if you want to do one. But it's very, very important that you work on your mental health because that's what's going to help get you through what we're going through right now. If you're already struggling with mental health and we're going through this big transformation we're going through, how do you think you're going to handle that mentally? So, again, book a call. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I was just saying how important mental health is because there's so many women out here that if they would take the time and invest in themselves mentally and physically, they would be healthier mentally and physically, and you can make better choices, and you won't find yourself in one of Diddy's freak offs. So you won't find yourself in Dubai being used as a porta potty. So that you don't find yourself, you think you're being flued out to one guy, and there's a whole room of guys waiting on you. So these are the things, that goes on with these women in the industry, and y'all don't even know it because they don't talk about that. They get out of these situations, they go to the hospital, get themselves together, heal up. You don't hear from them for a while. Then they back out to do the same thing because they need some money. Instead of going to therapy and fixing what's going on with them or trying to fix it, they make it even worse and just go right back out there. So that's why I said the city girl life is not what people think it is. The city girl life was brought onto the Black community to make young Black women promiscuous. That's all it is. It was. Do you see this type of behavior going into the white community? Do you see? Name me some white girls that's acting like the city girls and making a styling with their music. How they half dress with Cardi B and all them. Cardi B, Megan, all of them with. Because the new thing now I'm noticing is the tops that's just covering the nipples of the breasts. I'm seeing that now. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? That's what I'm saying. Why I'm seeing Black women do that. I seen Megan with the jacket on. I seen JT with that jacket on. Not the same jacket, but that style. And I'm not sure if I saw Beyonce with it on, but I know I saw JT and Megan Thee Stallion with the little small jacket that just covers the nipples. The bottom part of the breast is out, and you can't really see the top part of the breast, but you see the bottom part of the breast where you know it's right, the material is right below the nipple, so that you see the bottom part of the breast. So I'm like, why is this a thing? Why is it that the clothes that these girls are wearing are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's only happening in the black community? And that's why I said we fall for anything. We keep doing this, and we're destroying ourselves with this. And if we don't get a grip on this soon, we basically won't exist. When I say won't exist, we'll exist, but we'll basically have no rights or have nothing because we've let them do everything to us. Because I just read yesterday, what is that? The governor in Alabama, she has there is to be no all programs for diversity and inclusion and all that are to be removed from all public forums like schools and universities and everything else. This is what they're doing, and you know why they did it? Because they can. Because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's just laying down and letting this just roll over. Nobody's doing that. The black community is doing nothing. And this is why these things are happening. So, like I said, this city girl culture and all this stuff that they want to put in our communities, I don't know when everybody's going to wake up and they're going to realize that this is not it's not what you think it is. That is a dark, lonely path that winds up with either some sort of mental issues or physical issues. Because a lot of these women, it's not just mental. A lot of these women be catching diseases. A lot of these women are catching diseases like different STDs and um, different things you can't get rid of. So it's really bad out here. It's really bad. And for these women to get on Instagram and put all these pictures up that life is so great, a lot of these women are on drugs. A lot of these women are alcoholics because these women have to have something to get through what they're doing. Do you think these women can do this stuff sober? These women barely be awake when this stuff be going on because they can't stomach it. Nobody's doing this in their right mind. That's another thing. So it has to be some substances involved because can't no woman can tolerate that like a strange man they don't even know that's just on top of them. Nobody wants to, no woman wants that. So of course, if she's doing it for money, she's going to have to take some sort of substance. So, that's why I said this city girl culture, I'm glad is leaving. I hope it doesn't come back. I hope these young women will start learning to invest in themselves, invest in themselves physically and mentally so that they can have a healthier life. Because right now it's too much unhealthiness. Look what's going on around us. Look at that Mahogany Jackson case. If that ain't disgusting, I don't know what isn't, because there were females involved with that, involved with torturing another female. So when you start, like I said, that pack mentality, I think I might do a psychology of pack mentality. Because when you get a pack of people together, they all take on the same energy, and that energy grows to something that becomes out of control. So I'm gonna do a video on the psychology of pack mentality because people don't understand how something like that starts and how it builds and what happens from there. But as far as the city girl culture is definitely dying. uh Even the songs are starting to sound a little different because people are just tired of it at this point. We're just tired of it. Music right now is just trash. Music is trash. And these girls out here, Sukiyana, Sexy Red. We ain't gonna talk about Sexy Red. I mean, that is the most. I don't have no words. I don't have no words. I don't. I'm not saying that she is disgusting. I'm saying what she's doing and what she represents is disgusting. I'm not going to say she's disgusting because I don't know what this girl is about. The girl, we already know she a hood girl. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We can see she don't come from some fine lineage. So we all know she from the hood, and she's probably, lived her whole life in survival mode. So she probably has the mantra, get it how you can get it. Because she just seemed like she down with it all. She one of them city girls that's really a city girl, that's down with it all. But but I also heard her say that she has been SA'd. I didn't heard her say she was on a podcast and she mentioned it, and the guys was like, because they asked her, "What is the craziest thing that ever happened to you?" And she said she was SA. They was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's too heavy. You got to say something else. You got to say something else." Yeah, because men can't handle that. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that what happened to her with that assault might be why she act like that now. I'm almost. It ain't even about might. It contributes to it. I'm not saying it's the sole factor, but it contributes to why that girl think like that in her behavior. It ain't hard to figure out. So that's why I said that's the importance of getting therapy, or even if you don't want therapy, talk to someone to see if you need it. Like get a therapeutic call, see if you need the therapy. That's the thing, because sometimes you don't need therapy. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, a couple therapeutic calls, it sets you straight, you good to go. But some people actually need to sit with a therapist and actually develop some sort of plan, because you need coping mechanisms and different strategies and techniques that you can use, and that's when we will pass you along to a therapist. If we can do it with a therapeutic call, we will. We'll evaluate you. But if you need to go to a therapist based on your answers, that's what we're going to do. Because that's what Sexy Red should have done. And that's the problem. Mental health services are not offered to people in the ghetto. And that's why it's such a big deal. Because mental health services have always been offered to Caucasians. Psychology goes back to like the 1800s or something like that. Might even be longer than that. So psychology has been serving the Caucasian community for decades, where the Black community, we are just starting to actually use mental health services, and we still not getting it right. We still do not participate in mental health services like we should, and that's why we're so screwed up. That's why the kids are out here running around acting crazy. So that's why I said this city girl culture, it is definitely something that is a direct result of our problems in the Black community. This is another extension, because we shouldn't have young women walking around acting like this. How is walking around acting like this promoting being a respectable young woman? And I realize that there's always going to be two types of women. I understand that part, but we need to have more women on our side than the other side. We realize we can't save every woman, and every woman is not going to, participate or care or want to be bothered. But I'd rather have more women that have more of a healthy mind and body than those that don't, because there's too many young women now being taken advantage of, being used and abused and tossed away, and it's just creating just a society of just total dysfunction in our community. And it has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. And it has to start in our individual homes. But I'm not going to, get on my soapbox about this for too long. But city girl culture is over. Basically, it's over. Any women who are still trying to do this, it's not going to be last much longer. I suggest whatever money y'all got, y'all start going to school, get some certifications, start a lash business, do whatever you need to do to start making money for yourself, because things are not going to be going well. And if you think you're going to be making all this money on social media, they about to change all that too. That's coming down the pike too. Everybody's not going to be making all this money on social media thinking, oh, I'm just going to grow my social media and I'm going to be a content creator. No, only real content creators are going to wind up being there in the end, because it's going to be, life is just going to be too much where people are going to have to drop off and work. And that's just it. Because some people, everybody, just because you want to do YouTube, everybody's not great at it. Everybody, anybody can do a YouTube channel. You got it on your phone. That don't mean that you're going to have a channel that takes off and stays that way. So that's why I said, it's time for, city girl culture is dead. It's time for y'all young women to stop idolizing these women. It's time for y'all to start planning your futures. That includes going for yearly physicals, and also visiting a therapist for mental health also, and start getting yourself together for this new world. We got a new world coming that's about to be automated. We got a new world coming where things are going to be changing that you won't even believe. Because I'm about to start, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to start my what's that thing, a Patreon, and we could talk about it behind the scenes, because I know a lot behind the scenes. You just can't say it on here, but I know a lot behind the scenes that you can't say on here, because all they're going to do is take it down, so, or strike me, or whatever the hell they're going to do. So We'll get into that another time because my channel is still early. So we got time. So I'm going to close this out because I'm coming up on 30 minutes. And I am going to be coming with you guys with that Psychology of Women Part 2. Matter of fact, it is done. I just didn't put it up yet. It's actually done. I was just trying to get this out. And I'm going to keep them coming, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great day. And I will talk to you soon.